Is your sexual health not what it used to be? Wondering why things have changed and how to get back on track? In this video, we'll uncover the hidden reasons behind decreased intimacy and sexual function in men, and more importantly, provide real solutions to help you regain a satisfying and healthy life. From emotional challenges and relationship dynamics to health-related issues, we'll break down the complex causes of sexual inactivity. Stay with us until the end, because we'll not only explore what might be going wrong, but also share practical steps and expert advice to help restore your vitality and enhance your overall well-being. Don't miss out on this life-changing information. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of our valuable content. Your support means a lot to me. And if you liked this video, you can help me continue with these valuable teachings by liking and sharing it. In this video, we will explore together the deeper causes and the actions that sometimes they can make a decisive difference. It is important to take a moment to understand that sexuality and relationships are intimate topics that affect each of us in a unique way. Before continuing, I invite you to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our enriching videos on sexuality and relationships. If this video resonates with you or seems useful to you, do not hesitate to give it a like so other people can discover our valuable content, and above all, take a moment to comment with a 1 if this topic interests you deeply, or a 0 if you consider that your opinion is not relevant. It is valuable to us, and helps us create higher quality content that focuses on your concerns and needs. Sometimes, men can feel that their masculinity, their desire, or even their sexual activity are no longer the same as before. It is an experience that can be disturbing and sometimes scary, but it is important to know that this can happen for many reasons. Some are physical, related to health problems, but others are much deeper and are rooted in emotions and relationships. When these changes occur, they can significantly affect a person's sex life and intimacy. Couple, generating discomfort, age, and sometimes incomprehension is. It is essential to understand what is behind this phenomenon, because by taking the time to understand what happens in our body and mind, we can really move forward. This knowledge paves the way to solutions and actions that can restore a full and passionate, healthy sex life. And this awareness begins with recognizing this phenomenon and its causes. One of the main reasons why a man may notice a decrease in his sexual activity is relationship problems. When the couple goes through conflicts, misunderstandings, or unresolved tensions, often the most intimate part of the relationship. She is the first to suffer frustration. Emotional distance or even unexpressed things can create an invisible barrier that prevents an authentic and satisfying sexual connection. Therefore, it is vital to restore sincere communication and an environment of trust to rekindle the flame of intimacy. When communication is lacking, fights become a constant echo and emotional distance increases. Sexual desire can slowly but surely disappear. This is a reality that many couples experience, but it can be especially devastating when it affects a relationship that seemed strong. Too often, one of the members of the couple begins to feel invisible, neglected, or misunderstood, which can lead to emotional withdrawal, unfortunately also physical. Without open dialogue, it is easy to get lost in one's own thoughts, accumulate frustrations, and distance oneself from each other without even realizing it. This feeling of rejection, this need to withdraw, to protect oneself from pain, inevitably becomes an invisible barrier that further weakens the relationship with the other. Time without a deep emotional connection. Intimate moments that were once a source of pleasure and satisfaction begin to lose their appeal. What was once natural becomes a burden. Sexual desire gradually extinguishes like a flame that goes out without fuel. The couple falls apart, so in a vicious circle. The lack of affection mixes with everyday stress, fatigue, and life's worries, making resolving conflicts increasingly difficult. Work, stress, increasing family responsibilities, financial worries. All of this becomes a heavy burden. Each one lives in their own reality, without the other being there to share the emotional weight. This lack of emotional and physical support eventually leads to an insurmountable gap. This gap widens over time, and the physical connection slowly disappears. Almost naturally, intimacy is replaced by unspoken things, silences, and mechanical gestures. Sexual relations become less frequent, less passionate, and less satisfying. The couple is then in a state of resignation and believes that this is simply the normal course of things, as if passion and desire had been carried by day-to-day life. But this is not the case. It is not an inevitable fact. The truth is that the problem does not lie in the loss of desire itself, but in the inability to understand what could have caused this desire. It is possible to find the warmth and magic of an intimate relationship again, but to do so, you must first be aware of what is wrong, above all, of what could help restore. That valuable connection begins with listening. With understanding the emotional and physical needs of the other is essential to break the silence, to open up to dialogue, even when it seems difficult. This courage to talk about the difficulties and addressing them together can give new life to a couple that seemed doomed to oblivion. To restore a full sexual life, rekindle that deep connection and shared moments of pleasure. I invite you to discover a powerful tool, the ebook Rediscovering Intimacy, Healthy Sexuality After 60. This guide is designed to help you overcome the emotional and physical challenges related to and return passion and complicity to your marriage or relationship. Offers practical but motivating advice to guide you step by step towards a satisfactory relationship. You will find ways to strengthen your communication, restore trust, and, above all, rekindle the flame of love and desire that over time may have weakened. Wait to act. Click on the first pinned comment to get your copy now, but don't hesitate because copies are limited. You must not miss this opportunity. Rediscover the beauty of your intimate connection. Open the door to a new love adventure and give your relationship the opportunity to develop like never before. You deserve to lead a love life full of happiness and satisfaction. You deserve to rediscover joy and passion. It's not too late. There is still time to transform your love and emotional life. Don't let daily difficulties destroy what can still be beautiful and valuable. You have the opportunity in your hands to redefine your romantic future. Don't wait any longer. Take your destiny into your own hands today. The second reason why the penis can become inactive is related to grief, a pain so deep that it consumes the soul and the body. The loss of a loved one is such an overwhelming test that its effects they are felt in all aspects of daily life, including sexuality. The sadness that accompanies such grief can be so intense that it eclipses all other desires, including intimate ones. If you are still watching this video and find these teachings useful, please comment below number 1 to let me know that you are still with us. I would love to know your impressions, and do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to receive more valuable content. Thank you for being part of this adventure. Therefore, it is normal that the desire to physically approach someone disappears, since, in this dark time, can feel like a part of oneself has been irretrievably lost. It is a feeling of emptiness, of lack, a feeling that nothing can fill that void. The pain caused by this loss leads to an emotional and physical separation, sometimes so deep that it can lasting for months or even years. The intimate life that was once an essential part of the relationship becomes a gray area, a space that is avoided as if it were an open wound that you would rather not touch. Grief, as natural and human as it is, acts as a dark veil that consumes sexuality. Desire becomes a distant concept, almost unreal, as pain takes up all the space, and it is not just a mental state. The body reacts to this suffering by gradually adapting to a life without intimate relationships. This reaction of the body to the absence of physical contact, hugs, and intimate moments can settle in silently. The lack becomes the norm, and the desire in a distant memory. Returning to passion and intimacy becomes a great challenge as it adds another fear to the suffering, the fear of opening the heart again. A broken heart fears being torn apart again. It is difficult to imagine getting close again, someone experiencing that vulnerability again, because the prospect of loss is too painful. This creates an emotional barrier that makes it almost impossible to return to a healthy and satisfying intimate life. It is crucial to understand the effects of grief on sexual health, to know that it is a difficult time, but it will not necessarily be a permanent situation. It is important to accept that desires disappear in this time of mourning, but equally important is to recognize that over time you need to work on healing to restore that intimate connection. Take care of yourself and take the time to accept, and healing is a decisive step to recover a healthy sexuality after a duel. The third cause, and no less important, is before the criminal inactivity is chronic disease. When a man faces a serious illness, such as cancer or another condition that requires long-term treatment, the impact is much broader than just the physical symptoms. The disease, with its severe treatments, side effects, and uncertainty about the future, deeply affects both the body and the mind. Then maintaining a full intimate life becomes difficult, if not impossible. Fatigue, pain, depression, and many health concerns cause sexual desire to slowly decrease. The body, exhausted by the fight against the disease, seems to have lost its energy and desire, and even the mind turns away from the pursuit of pleasure. This does not mean that relief has been permanently lost, but that the mind and body are temporarily in a survival state, busy fighting the disease. Therefore, understanding these deeper causes, whether emotional or physical, is essential to challenge these changes and, in some cases, find lasting and satisfying intimacy again. But it is important to take the time to heal. Take care of yourself and not judge your body too harshly, or the mind that is going through difficult trials. These obstacles may seem insurmountable at a given moment, but with time, patience, and the right support, it is possible to find the way back to a rich and fulfilling sexual and emotional life. Harsh treatments such as chemotherapy and radiotherapy can have devastating effects on the body and mind. In addition to extreme fatigue and constant pain, these treatments cause hormonal changes that affect deeply sexual desire. It is not uncommon for the body and mind to be so affected by the side effects of these treatments that they completely isolate themselves from intimacy. The priority is then focused on physical and emotional recovery, relegating sexuality to the background compared to with the fight against the disease. This lack of interest in intimate moments is not conscious, but a natural reaction of the body that, in its effort to heal, temporarily shuts down less vital functions. In addition, constant pain and the effects of chemotherapy and radiotherapy can limit physical capacity to participate sexually, which increases frustration and widens the emotional distance. The intimate connection then gradually disintegrates, and over time, criminal inactivity sets in, turning this absence of intimacy into a cycle difficult to break. The body gets used to this new reality and finds a full sexual life becomes a real challenge. Another reason. Equally important is the decrease in sexual desire, as well known as loss of libido. This phenomenon affects many people at different times in their lives, and its causes can be varied and complex. Stress, fatigue, and emotional problems such as depression can contribute to this decrease in desire. When a person is overwhelmed by worries daily, whether work, family, or personal challenges, the body remains in a constant state of stoppage, which leads to certain functions, including sexual desire, being deactivated. The body, in its natural wisdom, seeks to conserve its energy for perceived priorities as more urgent, such as work or family obligations. Desire. Then it becomes an energy that seems to be exhausted, as if the passion were at the bottom of a dusty box, increasingly difficult to access. In addition, some medications, especially those prescribed for conditions such as hypertension or depression, can have side effects, adverse effects on relief. Men taking these medications may notice a significant decrease in their desire, and this can be a decisive factor in the decrease in sexual activity. The body, exhausted by accumulated tension, anxiety, or even the unwanted effects of the treatments, seems to gradually detach from physical pleasures, and interest in intimacy slowly fades over time. As this decrease in sexual desire becomes more persistent, the penis, in its function of intimacy, is no longer used as frequently as before. The body then adapts to this new situation. Penile inactivity gradually sets in, and it becomes more difficult to reactivate this disappeared desire. This process, although often temporary, can become a difficult cycle to break. Men who find themselves in this state of withdrawal may feel shame or guilt, believing that something is wrong with them. But it is essential to understand that these phases of loss of habit are part of a comprehensive process of managing the body and mind in the face of daily challenges. The fifth reason for criminal inactivity is work overload. In a society where professional success is often perceived as an indicator of personal worth, men can get caught in a spiral of stress and pressure to succeed. When work becomes the absolute priority, the mind and body remain constantly on alert, overloaded with responsibilities, deadlines, and the need to perform. This mental and physical overload creates a mental barrier that prevents relaxing and focusing on the more intimate aspects of life. Accumulated stress, long working hours, and constant pressure to meet professional expectations create a gap emotional that makes intimacy more difficult to achieve. Moments of relaxation and pleasure are often seen as a luxury, as things for which there is no time, and sexuality becomes another area in which to face obligation rather than a pleasant and liberating experience. The body, in its effort to survive and be efficient, can deactivate certain functions, and one of them may be sexuality is not due to lack of desire, but simply because the energy is directed to other places where priorities are perceived as more urgent. Over time, this lifestyle can lead to emotional and physical separation from the partner, and sexual desire can eventually diminish unless a conscious effort is made to restore balance in each of these cases. It is crucial to understand that sexual desire, it is not something fixed or constant. It is influenced by multiple factors that are sometimes complex. But it is also possible to restore intimacy, reactivate desire, and find full sexuality again. The road can be long, but it begins with the recognition of these underlying causes and the adoption of steps to restore balance between body, mind, and intimate relationships. If you are still watching this video and find these teachings useful, please comment below number 2 to let me know that you are still with us. I would love to know your impressions, and do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to receive more valuable content. Thank you for being part of this adventure. With so many worries and daily tasks, the brain literally overloads, which leads to almost unconsciously deactivate sexual desire to conserve energy and concentrate on tasks considered priorities. The reality of modern life, with its deadlines, expectations, and responsibilities, rarely leaves room for intimate well-being. Even after a long day, whether at work, at home, or in various obligations, the body is exhausted and exhausted. The tiredness is so great that there simply does not seem to be the energy necessary for sexual activity. The body and mind are overtaxed, and sexuality, although essential for well-being, is relegated to the background. This leads to a gradual decline of sexual interest, as the mind is constantly busy solving pressing problems or dealing with multiple responsibilities. Over time, this absence of intimacy becomes a new norm, a state where the penis is used less frequently, as the body slowly adapts to this routine, almost as if there was no room for intimate moments. The lack of physical affection. It becomes a habit, and without conscious intervention, this can lead to real criminal inactivity. This transformation is not only physical, but also emotional. The physical distance from the partner is reflected in an increasing emotional distance. Sexuality is no longer perceived as a priority, and the lack of intimacy continues to gradually weaken the bonds. The sixth reason, often related to age, is the natural decline in testosterone levels that affects many men as they age, especially during andropause. This hormone plays a crucial role in sexual desire, vitality, and overall energy. When testosterone levels decrease, interest in intimate moments can naturally be affected. This phenomenon is inevitable, but can be experienced differently depending on the individual, and also in men who undergo severe medical treatments, such as those common in the prostate cancer. Hormone production can be severely affected by the drugs used to treat the disease. These treatments, although essential for survival and health, can cause a significant loss of libido and turn sexual life into an area where desire seems to be extinguished gradually. This is a difficult thing to accept for many, as the desire to get closer to the partner decreases due to these hormonal changes. However, it is important to emphasize that these hormonal changes, whether natural or caused by medical treatments, do not mean that sexuality should disappear. On the contrary, understanding these dynamics is essential to address them proactively. The path to rediscovering desire and intimacy begins with accepting realities, physical and emotional, while looking for appropriate solutions, whether medical, psychological, or related to the relationship. Although testosterone is a key factor, there are many approaches to restore balance and rekindle the flame of intimacy. Thank you for joining us. All the time. Today, we've uncovered some of the key factors that influence your sexual health and intimacy, from the impact of stress and emotional challenges to natural age-related changes. Remember, the journey to understanding and improving intimacy is personal, but it's one of the most rewarding paths you can take. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What stood out to you the most in this video? Is there something new you've learned that you're ready to apply in your life or relationship? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your story might just inspire someone else on a similar journey. If this video was helpful to you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. By subscribing, you'll never miss our future content, packed with valuable advice to help you build stronger relationships and a more fulfilling life. Thank you for being part of this amazing community. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.